Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me for my latest video in my 50 for 2023 installment here on YouTube. Really simple concept, made a list at the end of the year last year of 50 cards that I wanted to target in the 2023 calendar year. Some of them expensive, some of them cheap, some of them very exact items, a specific card. Others were more open-ended, just a particular player or type of card, and gave myself a little bit of leeway to roam around within those bounds. So today's examples, and there are going to be two cards, both fall into the latter category in both instances. They are cheaper cards. They were not expensive to pick up. And these were items on my list where I knew, roughly what I wanted, but I gave myself a little bit of leeway. So we're going to get to cards 11 and 12 today, two-card video. And as you can tell by the title and the card in the backdrop here, this beautiful Bowman's Best Pedro Martinez, these are going to be Pedro cards. Certainly not the only Red Sox fan that you've probably heard say this. Very common opinion, and it's hard, to really think otherwise. But he was the most dynamic and exciting pitcher that I have ever seen pitch for my favorite team in my lifetime. I've been a Red Sox fan since, late 80s, early 90s. I've been a huge Red Sox fan here in the 21st century when I got old enough to get tickets through work or drive up there on my own, go to at least a couple games every year, sometimes many games every year, going back, 20 to 25 years now. And Pedro is the best pitcher that I have ever seen with my own two eyes. Just unbelievable, dominating stuff. And even though I have a decent amount of Pedro cards because I was a Red Sox team collector over the years and I would get them in trade packages or care packages, I haven't made as good of an effort as I should have to really target some Pedro, just given how good a player he was. And so when I sat down to make this list, I looked over his career and his statistics and determined that I wanted to get a 1999 Pedro Martinez card and a 2000 Pedro Martinez card. That 2-year stretch, he was the best pitcher in baseball, uncontested. He won the Cy Young both years, finished, top 5 in MVP voting both years, led the league both years in ERA and strikeouts. And in the first year, 99, also paced the league with 23 wins. So he was, as effective as anyone's ever been in history, in my opinion, over those 2 years. The type of player who is so electric that you didn't want to miss a start. You wanted to tune in to watch Pedro pitch more than any other reason. So wanted to get some Pedro cards from those 2 years, but that was all I put on the list. Just a 1999 Pedro and a 2000 Pedro. And a lot of ways I could have gone with this. Could have spent a significant amount of money if I chose to, but with all the other items on the list, and given how many cool cards are available from the turn of the century, decided to do this on the cheaper side. And I found one seller that I bought these two cards from to cross both items off the list. So here's the first. This is from 1999, Topps Stadium Club Chrome. This is the Pedro Martinez Refractor. So pretty obvious why I would gravitate towards this card. And, again, I feel like a broken record saying this all the time. But just another example of being able to have a ton of fun and get some really cool and significant cards in the hobby without spending a lot of money. This card and the card that we're going to look at next from the same seller combined, I think set me back $25. So you just can't beat that. Stadium Club is a brand that I absolutely love. It's one of my all-time favorite brands. You combine that with my love of Shine, a great photograph here of this delivery to home plate. This is exactly how I remember Pedro. And funnily enough, it actually looks like a continuation of his delivery from this first photo on the Bowman's Best refractor. So just another Pedro refractor there. Obviously, given the price point that I was able to get this at, it's evident, but Stadium Club Chrome and its refractors are fun cards, but they don't get the respect in the hobby from a pricing and popularity standpoint as like Topps Chrome, Bowman's Best, other sets like that. But I don't care, that's not the reason that I went for these, and it just meant that I was able to pick them up very, very cheap. So here's probably his best season ever, 1999, the Stadium Club Chrome Refractor. Nice looking card back as well. And you can see here below the card number, it's a little tough to make out, SCC 15. It actually does denote in small black text refractor. So yeah, two awesome Pedros there when you put it side by side with the 99 Bowman's Best that I've shown previously on the channel. Just pumped to have those. And then pretty easy to predict where this one's going, but here's the third and final card for today, and the second new card, card number 12 on the 50 for 2023 list, is the 2000 Topps Stadium Club Chrome Refractor of Pedro. So got the back-to-back Stadium Club Chrome Refractors for the back-to-back Cy Young Award seasons, and these cards are just a really good kind of reminder to me of his awesome stretch of dominance and how much fun it was as a Boston sports fan to get to witness that. Actually had done a recent guest episode that just aired this past weekend with John, Wade Boggs fan, and Don from Field of Dreams Cards on their new episode that they launched. And we got into cards that signify important events in history, whether it's moments or seasons or other things like that. And I've been collecting along those lines for a while now, so I think that's the primary reason I chose these two to go on the list, knowing that I wanted some Pedro. Here's a look at the back as well. These are not numbered. Also does denote the refractor here below the card number, although it's very, very obvious looking at the front. So look at that, just beautiful rainbow shine. Awesome cards. Really, really happy with both of these. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better way to spend $25 in the hobby when it comes to modern cards. And I would consider these modern, turn of the century anyway. Really pleased. I think, you know, just an example of not needing to spend, like I said, very much money to check off a couple of these items off my list. So I do have some bigger cards coming that I have been able to cross off, but for today, for cards 11 and 12 to take us up to a dozen, they were two pretty cheap additions. I think they look great in the one touches. At some point, I could see myself sending any of those three in front of you off for grading. I think they'd look great with PSA slabs encasing them. But for now, I'm going to enjoy them as is. And that is a wrap on the latest installment of my 50 for 2023 project. So 12 cards down, 38 to go, or up to 38. I don't think I'm going to end up finding them all. But stay tuned next time for another great vintage baseball card. And in the meantime, I hope everybody's enjoying the hobby and staying safe. Take care.